Spider-Man No Way Home opens at a moment of crisis and confusion. Peter Parker's world collapses the second Mysterio broadcasts his identity to the entire world. Crowds swarm outside his home, helicopters hover overhead, and reporters chase him relentlessly. Peter, MJ, and Ned are interrogated by authorities, and even Happy Hogan comes under legal investigation. Though they avoid serious charges thanks to Matt Murdock, their lives become a nightmare. Peter can no longer walk freely in public, MJ loses her job, Ned's family faces constant scrutiny, and all three of them watch their futures crumble when MIT rejects their applications solely because of their association with Peter. Feeling responsible for ruining the lives of the people he loves most, Peter desperately searches for a solution. He realizes that the problem began when everyone found out he was Spider-Man, so he decides to visit Dr. Strange. Strange listens to his plea and offers a risky but powerful solution, a spell that will make the world forget Peter Parker as Spider-Man. As Strange begins casting it, Peter becomes anxious and repeatedly interrupts to keep certain people, MJ, Ned, and May, happy, from forgetting him. Each interruption destabilizes the spell until it spirals out of control. Strange manages to contain it, but he warns Peter that they may have unleashed something dangerous. Soon after, as Peter tries to fix things by meeting with an MIT administrator, Dr. Octopus appears without warning on the bridge and confronts him. Octavius grabs him, confident he is fighting the same Spider-Man who battled him in a different universe. Peter is overwhelmed until his nanotech upgrades bond with Doc Ock's arms, allowing him to gain control. Before he can catch his breath, the Green Goblin emerges through the smoke. Strange teleports Peter back to the Sanctum, explaining that beings who know the identity of Spider-Man from other universes slipped through when the spell malfunctioned. Strange has already captured Lizard, and soon, Electro and Sandman also appear. Strange intends to return the villains to their universes immediately, but Peter discovers an unsettling truth: many of them die while fighting their version of Spider-Man. Peter refuses to send them back to die, especially when he believes he can help them. Strange disagrees, saying the multiverse cannot be tampered with. Their disagreement leads to an intense battle inside the mirror dimension, where Peter uses geometry and clever strategy to trap Strange and escape with the spell box. Peter brings the villains to Happy Hogan's apartment, determined to cure them. For a brief moment, hope fills the room. He repairs Drive, Octavius's inhibitor chip, restoring Otto's true mind and freeing him from the AI arms controlling him. But Norman Osborn's fractured psyche shifts violently. The Green Goblin side takes over, manipulating the other villains with promises of strength and freedom. Chaos erupts. Electro removes his power limiter, Lizard breaks free, and the Green Goblin brutally attacks Peter. In a devastating moment, Goblin strikes Aunt May with the glider and then detonates a bomb. Peter rushes to her side, and she delivers one final, defining message: with great power, there must also come great responsibility. Moments later, she dies in his arms. Her loss breaks Peter completely. While he mourns alone, MJ and Ned attempt to find him using Dr. Strange's sling ring, which Ned discovered he can activate through a mysterious natural ability. When Ned tries to open a portal to Peter Parker, he unintentionally brings in a different Spider-Man entirely, Andrew Garfield's version. Another attempt brings Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. Both older Spider-Men carry their own wounds, regrets, and lessons. They find the Peter of this universe devastated and lost on a rooftop. The three share their experiences with loss. Tobey speaks of losing Uncle Ben, and Andrew confesses that failing to save Gwen Stacy still haunts him. Their compassion and shared pain help Peter regain the strength to keep going. Together, the three Peters plan to cure all the villains. Using their scientific knowledge, they prepare antidotes and devices. They lure the villains to the Statue of Liberty, now being outfitted with a giant Captain America shield. A massive, high-stakes battle unfolds. Working in perfect coordination after some humorous trial and error, they cure Sandman, Lizard, and Electro. Otto Octavius arrives at a key moment and helps shut down Electro's power overload. The teamwork between the three Spider-Men becomes a powerful symbol of unity across worlds. Everything builds toward the final confrontation with the Green Goblin. After the shield crashes into the scaffolding, MJ is thrown into the air. Peter jumps to save her but misses, echoing Andrew Garfield's traumatic loss of Gwen. In an emotionally charged moment, Andrew dives and catches MJ safely, finally finding redemption he had long needed. Tom Holland's Peter eventually corners Goblin on the rubble. Filled with rage from May's death, he beats Goblin mercilessly and picks up the glider to kill him. Just as he is about to strike, Tobey stops him, refusing to let him cross a line he can never come back from. Goblin stabs Tobey, but he survives. Andrew throws the cure, and Peter finally injects Norman, freeing him from the Goblin persona. Meanwhile, the fabric of reality begins tearing apart. Figures from the multiverse, silhouettes of people who know Spider-Man, start appearing. Strange tries to contain it but cannot. Peter realizes the only solution is to erase himself from everyone's memory completely. If no one knows Peter Parker exists, the cracks will close. It is the hardest decision of his life, but he chooses to sacrifice every relationship he has to save the world. Before Strange casts the spell, Peter shares a heartbreaking goodbye with MJ and Ned. MJ tells him to find her again, and they share a final kiss. The spell is cast, and everything resets. The world forgets Peter Parker entirely. Afterward, Peter visits MJ at her workplace. She no longer recognizes him. He plans to remind her of everything but stops when he notices a bandage on her forehead, proof that even without knowing him, she still got hurt during the battle. Realizing that bringing her back into his world could endanger her again, he quietly leaves. He also sees Ned celebrating his acceptance to MIT, happier and freer than before. Peter walks away, choosing to protect the people he loves by staying out of their lives. In a small apartment with little more than a few boxes and a sewing machine, Peter starts over. He creates a new, classic Spider-Man suit on his own, bright, homemade, and symbolizing his return to humble beginnings. With no support system, no recognition, and no identity left behind, he swings into the snowy streets of New York, embracing the responsibility Aunt May died believing in. Alone but profoundly strengthened, he becomes the Spider-Man he was always meant to be. Brave, selfless, and willing to sacrifice everything for the greater good.